What's going on, guys? I'm Mr. Black Magic.
I be Omega D's.
Fuck it, I'm doing mine like yours. I'm Mr. Black Magic. I just said the same thing. And this is our review for Ethan Meteor Hunter on the Xbox One. This is a indie platformer by a French dev named Seaven Studios. It's actually their first game.
Yeah.
Started back in 2013. It originally released on PC, went to PS3 and Vita, but this is the Xbox One review. Just came out, or just comes out in July. Comes out in a couple weeks. So it's the game starts off with like a really brief cutscene. It's one of those kind of stop motion cutscenes, I guess, where it's not like a real cutscene. It's kind of just
Like
I don't
still
know.
frames, like
Yeah,
comic
kind
book
of
or
like
something.
still. Yeah, exactly. And so the whole basis of the game is you're a rat named Ethan, and a meteor crashes down, and it gives you the power to freeze time and move objects around.
Yeah, I was wondering how, from what I know about the game, like how he actually, like why is he looking for these meteor
Yeah,
fragments
so it
and all
just
that?
it just crashes down and it touches you, and then you notice you have that power, and then you see that, when it crashes down it breaks apart and spreads everywhere. So then the
Yeah.
whole game, all the levels are basically you going to an area looking for more fragments of the meteor
So he's a power hungry
to
rat.
get more power. Yeah, exactly.
Right. That makes
And
sense.
then you have like a neighbor, for whatever reason they hate each other, and he's like trying to fuck with you sometimes. So it's like there are like little sections that are different from your typical. It's like most of the levels are typical kind of platformer. You're just moving along. There's a timer. A lot of jumping puzzles.
So,
But then some of the some of the levels, it'd be like a chase sequence for saws, where,
he
where
chaws me.
saws, where like there'll be saws on the left of your screen, and you have to keep up to not get hit by them. Like if you slow down, they'll catch up and just kill you. Where you
Yeah.
have to like keep moving really fast to the right. Or there's one where it's a vertical. It's like a vertical level. You're just going straight up, and you're on a pogo stick, and you have to like, so there'll be platforms, but they're the type of platforms where when you touch them, like 2 seconds later they'll crumble,
Yeah.
and so you have to just keep going up and up and up, but you obviously can't like stop for a second because the platform will just break underneath you, and then you'll fall and die and have to restart it.
Yeah.
So
It
I mean, there
looks.
are a couple pretty cool. Like I enjoyed those more than I did the just the typical just run to the right and get to the end levels.
Like the like the every
Yeah, just
platformer puzzle game levels.
exactly. Yeah, just generic, like just go to the right and jump a couple times, slide. I mean, there's a sliding feature where if you get on like a sloped part, you can hold down and he'll kind of gain momentum and just slide down the ramp, and then you can like jump high off the end of the ramp.
Yeah.
But the main thing is the freezing time. So if you press X, you have to actually pick up a little power up. It's like a little, it just looks like a pause button, where it's just two vertical lines, and then you can, for every one of those, you can freeze time once.
Oh, that's all right.
And
That makes. I was wondering about that too, because that like all the gameplay I've seen, they couldn't
mhm,
always freeze time. I was wondering why. It
yeah,
wasn't got a power meter.
yeah. So you pick up those little things, and then you can freeze time as much as you want, but once you move something, it takes it away.
Yeah.
So you can just keep like you can freeze and unfreeze. There's no point to doing that really, but so usually when you freeze time, it's you have to grab an item, like say a big brick, and move it to the right, or sometimes there'll be like lava on the ground, and you have to like jump on the block so you're not standing in the lava, jump in the air, and then freeze time and move the block forward, so you land on it farther ahead.
Yeah.
But then there's some where it's like Tetris puzzles almost, where you'll get to an area where there'll be a bunch of like different sized rectangles and squares stacked up,
Yeah.
and like say you'll start in the bottom left and the exit is at the top right, but in between is a big huge square full of these blocks just stacked on top of each other, and you have to go in and just move them and kind of, just figure out a way to, for one, so you can get up top, but you also need to be able to get in there and then climb up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those were, some of them were really tricky. I actually found them more annoying than anything. I mean, they were difficult, so there is that. I mean, there's some difficult puzzles in the game. It's not just la da da, breezing through. There are some difficult sections.
Yeah.
But some of them I actually felt like I was fighting the controls more than the difficulty. Because there's like really simple jumping sections where I would have to just land on a platform, and I would just hit it and slide off.
Wonder if that's something to do with the Xbox port or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. The controls just didn't feel very tight. There'd be parts where it's like, all right, I just gotta land right here, and then I'd like hit it and then just slip right off, or or I'd think I was about to hit it and then I'd miss, or I don't know. And it's not like I'm terrible at these games. I'm not amazing, but it's something that what doesn't happen in most games. I'm thinking it's the game, not me.
Well, I mean, if it's a flat surface and you still slide off, maybe it might be something to do with the game. Maybe the port.
Well, yeah,
didn't
or just
translate
kind
well or
of,
something.
or just kind of weird momentum in certain, like you would think you'd land, but you kind of land and you just slip right off. I don't know. Maybe it was a momentum thing, but
Does he when you slide off, is he actually sliding off, or is he like taking a couple of steps or something?
it's just kind of like you hit it and then your character just kind of keeps going and then you just
Yeah.
slip right off.
Yeah, it could be momentum.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of levels though. There's 4 sections. It's kind of broken into different different themed areas. Over 50 levels. I mean, so there's a lot there. There's a lot of levels to play. Each level has 3 different kind of trials you can do. One's times, beat it under the par time.
Yeah.
One is I guess like the par number of pauses. It's
Yeah.
like it'll say, only beat this level with only freezing twice.
That's for like
But
gold medals, right?
yeah, and then one is for picking up all the little meteor fragments. There'll be 20 or something on every level, and you got to pick them all up in one go. I mean that there's definitely some replay value there, and in terms of like achievements, it's definitely going to take a long time because you have to do all 3 of those for every single level.
Yeah, that's
For the achievements.
one of the reasons. Like, I was thinking about buying it a few times on PlayStation 4, like because it's been out for a while. But those trophies, man, that's looks like that's gonna be a tough thing to do. Some of them.
Yeah, but I mean, if you enjoy the game, the replay value is definitely there. For me personally, I think in terms of a score out of 10, I'm thinking more like a 6. I didn't enjoy it that much. I don't know. I just didn't think the platforming was all that great.
Yeah.
And some of the freezing time. I mean, the freezing time is kind of cool, but the way it's implemented, it's hard to do on the fly. Like if you're trying to just blaze through a level, trying to get under the time, but then in the middle of that you have to pause, move something very precisely, and it's not like you can move it wherever you want either. Like there will be a dotted line outline
box.
kind of
Yeah, I
and
saw
you can
that.
only put it in there,
So you gotta
and then
pretty much put it exactly where you're about to land, and that has
well,
to be
yeah, and
exactly in the right place.
not only that, but like I said, when the parts where it's like a big block and they're all kind of piled up on each other, there's a lot of times where I'm just sitting there like going left right, trying to like stop it in the middle, but it won't stop in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like because it has to be where okay, there's space on the left, there's space on the right, like can't overlap anything, and it obviously can't go outside that dotted line.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times where it's like, all right, I want to go right here, but again, I think it's the controls. I'm fighting like the left stick sensitivity to place it where I want it, and to try and do that fast too. It's more of a pain. You're fighting the controls than the actual difficulty of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's not something I read when I was researching it. That must be. I'm assuming that's just the Xbox port or something.
Yeah. I mean that's most likely it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so 6 out of 10 comes out mid-July on Xbox One, but like we mentioned, it's available on other systems already.
What's the price on it?
I was just thinking that I'm not 100. I would want to say $10. That's the price that that is on other systems. I think it'd be that for Xbox.
Yeah, it'll probably be the same.
So yeah, I mean, so not too bad on the price, but I for the game itself, I didn't care for it too much.
No.
Well, alright, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know what you thought down in the comments. You played the game, check it out. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, love, and meteors.
Okay.